So I'm doing another bumblebee nest relocation, and this one's in a wall void. So I haven't done a wall void one before, so this is the first time doing it. However, I have done many yellow jacket removals from wall voids, so I'm used to the concept, just not with bumblebees. So I employed some of the same techniques that I normally do with yellow jackets, but bumblebees instead, and I feel like it worked out pretty well. Now it's time to start hammering away and getting this thing open. Now, once I get it open, I'm going to slowly open up the gap there to get every single little bee one at a time, the best I can, to make sure they don't just fly everywhere and get inside the house. So I got to make sure I'm patient with this one and delicate. So lo and behold, here's the nest. And finally, I was able to get all the aggressors subdued into the container. So there's not as many flying around. So a lot of these ones here are a lot of them, I guess what you could call nurse bees. They're not as focused on aggression. However, if you do really disturb them, they will go after you. But for now, it's a lot less. Look at that thing. It's a very good sized nest, and especially since it's May, the nest shouldn't be that big, but it is. It had prime conditions, almost perfect conditions for them, and it's caused this very unique situation for them to develop, where they are much larger than they should be. Normally, the nest should be just starting out and not have any gynes, which is reproductives, but they do, and that's very, very cool. Now I gotta harvest the rest of the bees, make sure all of them are, at least the vast majority of them, are out of the nest, so that when I finally remove the nest, I'm not hurting any bees, or they're getting stuck somewhere, or they get lost. So it's really important for me to get as many as possible. And if some of you were wondering if the vacuum is gentle, it is. It's very gentle. This vacuum I use particularly to keep yellow jackets alive as they go into the container, because it's for immunotherapy. So I have to make sure the yellow jackets are fresh and alive and healthy before I freeze them. So with the bumblebees, I've tested it and it works really well, and they're all very safe and they don't get harmed during the process of going through the hose into the container. So they are very safe. So I was looking at this bee, I saw this particular worker, and she is so tiny, just itty bitty. In fact, as I was looking at her, she was about half the size of a honeybee. That tiny, that small, just a tiny little thing. I think I decided to name her Tiny Tina. Now it's time to start really doing some cleanup and getting this thing removed. I thought this was kind of neat. It's an old carcass of a bird, skeletal system, just completely eaten up and old. In fact, as I kept going, I kept finding more and more. So there's about 4 or 5 skeleton birds just hanging out in the bottom there, all rotten. Now, if you notice, as I remove that dirt, and you'll see the dirt, and it's actually moving. So those are a bunch of maggots and fly larvae that have been eating the gross, nasty stuff on the bottom of the nest. And because bumblebees love nesting in filthy places, absolutely filthy places. Look at all those gynes scattered just everywhere. Those are all the reproductives trying to save themselves because they think they're getting eaten. And if you look on the sides, it's supposed to be on the sides of the walls, they're supposed to be brown board, but it's kind of yellowish spotted. Well, that is all bumblebee poop. And also on the board adjacent to it, it's all bumblebee poop. So it's just they're very messy little creatures. And here we go. The nest is all inside and cozy inside the container. I had to do some adjustments to the nest because it was too big for the container, which is pretty rare. Normally they don't get that big, but this one was large enough where it was just a beast. All right, with the next morning, let's see how the bees are doing. It looks like they're doing pretty good. So there's some guines on the side, which are future queens, by the way. They poop quite a bit on the sides, which is good. The honey pot looks good, and I did fill that honey pot with some more honey in there for them. Looks like they're starting to reform some of their pots. The larvae looks like they're doing good. Not too much damage to the nest. Yep, some still honey in there for them to eat. And they're not foraging too much. So yeah, it's all looking good. I'm really happy with the results here. The flap's doing good. It's a new little invention of mine. Okay, finally, and after a few more days after that, I added some insulation on top for extra coziness. And some flies there. That's okay. That's normal though. Looking good. Looking really good. I don't have any problems with it right now. Just be careful. Don't want to ruin their freshly nested material. So I gotta make sure I don't remove the mantle they just made. So look at that. Look, they are very aggressive, very, very saucy little girls right now. Look at that. So it looks like they're starting to make the mantle. They're weaving wax with the insulation, and that's perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. So that's exactly how it should be. And so far, they haven't taken any of the sugar water at all, or any of the honey I made for them. So they're very healthy. They feel like they have what they need.